Sweet Home. Season 3 was such a mess and really underwhelming. It's clear that it's gone way downhill since Season 1. One big reason why Seasons 2 and 3 were off compared to the first season is that the producers had to come up with original stories since the source material only covered Season 1. Season 3 picks up right where Season 2 left off, with a few flashbacks thrown in. Honestly, the plot moves so slowly, and there's way too much talking. It focuses more on the drama. The main twist is about the villain. They brought back the first experiment guy, MH1, who was the firefighter's fiancé, as the main antagonist. Turns out, he's been transferring consciousness from person to person the whole time. On the other hand, our protagonist was mostly controlled by his monsterification, making him appear as the emotionless and evil Hyun-soo. And of course, my most anticipated comeback was of my favorite character, Lee Yoon-hyuk. I had high expectations for him, especially since he was the main cliffhanger at the end of Season 2. But his presence in Season 3 was mostly average. The monster side of him controls his whole body, making it feel like a different character. These two main characters are far from the ones we rooted for in the first season. There were no emotions, making their reunion a bit lame. Even Lee Yoon-yu's character changed. She's always crying in every scene, which is so weird considering her original character. They kill off a ton of characters this season, almost every episode. They even give most of them flashbacks and dramatic scenes. Some of the original characters turn into monsters, like the kid who turns into slime. But the coolest power was the chief's. He turned himself into an ice barrier. Yi-kyung manages to turn back into a human with Hyun-soo's help and reconnects with her daughter. But then she gets killed by her fiancé, the villain. His plan was pretty simple. He wanted to transfer himself to his daughter, who can infect people just by touching them, and then rule the world. The final fight was kind of anticlimactic. It happens in the inner self of the kid, with her fighting him with Hyun-soo's help. Hyun-soo can invade someone's mind or heart or something like that. I'm not entirely sure, but it's something with their inner self. In the end, the villain finds his favorite host, Nam Sang-won, but Nam Sang-won fights the monster within him, and there's a flashback that shows his good deeds and proves he still has some humanity left. He chooses to end it all by crawling himself to the fire, taking the monster with him. At the end of Sweet Home Season 3, only Cha Hyun-soo, Lee Yoon-hyuk, and Lee Yoon-yu from the Green Home are still around. Humanity is trying to rebuild with the help of the Neo-humans, and the stadium survivors are looking for new places to live. The last scene shows Hyun-soo and Yoon-hyuk on top of the Green Home, looking like their old Season 1 selves, which gives off a vibe that things might be getting back to normal. Then we find out Yoon-yu is alive, even though she had started transforming. She's now a Neo-human, and Yoon-hyuk's narration hints that he and Hyun-soo are hoping Neo-humans can eventually get back their memories and feelings. A lot of characters died this season, but some stadium survivors made it through the final battle. With the stadium wrecked, they needed a new home. Hyun-soo, Private Park, and other soldiers kept going back to the stadium ruins to look for more survivors. Hyun-soo even used his powers to turn some monsters back into humans, giving humanity a fresh start. The soldiers decided to search a wider area for a new place to live, and ran into a big group of Neo-humans. Instead of fighting, they found common ground and started working together to rebuild the world. The ending of Season 3 is bittersweet but hopeful, with the Green Home crew sticking together and learning to live with the Neo-humans live up to its title.
Sweet Home.